Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about one of the most high value certifications you can get in 2026, GitHub Advanced Security. I finally sat the GH-500 exam and I have to be honest, it was not what I expected. It's less about theory and much more about how you actually think like a security engineer inside a repo. If you are a developer or a DevOps engineer looking to separate yourself from the crowd this year, grab your tea and dim the lights. I'm breaking down my exact study plan and the traps that caught me off guard. Now, if you have been hanging out at the radio for a while, you know we have already covered the big three: GitHub Foundations, GitHub Actions, and GitHub Copilot. If you missed those broadcasts, definitely go back and check them out because they lay the groundwork for everything we are doing today. But here's the thing, and I mentioned this in my recent shots. GitHub Advanced Security is a different beast. While those other certifications about how you build and move code, the GH-500 is entirely about how you protect it. It's an intermediate level exam that assumes you already know the UI. So, why take this exam specifically? In 2026, being a proficient developer is not just about writing code that works. It's about writing code that's secure. Companies are moving away from having a separate security team that checks things at the end. They want DevSecOps, which means they need you to understand how to build security into the process from day one. This exam is designed for developers, DevOps engineers, and security analysts who are already working in the GitHub ecosystem. But even if you are a student, having this in your resume separates you from everyone else because it shows you understand enterprise level risk. Remember when I said reading is not enough? It's because the people who should take this exam are practitioners. It's for the people who want to be the ones who actually know how to secure their organization's code. This is not for people who just want a badge. It's for people who want to be truly proficient in the tools they use every day. Now that we have established why this certification is a must-have for developers and practitioners, let's get into the actual logistics of the day. GH-500 is an intermediate level exam and it's no walk in the park. You have 100 minutes to answer roughly 70 questions. These are a mix of multiple choice and multiple select. And this is where that hands-on experience I mentioned earlier really kicks in. You need a 70% to pass, and since there is no negative marking, you should never leave a question blank. It costs $99, but keep an eye for vouchers if you are a student or at a partner company. You can take it at a testing center or from the comfort of your own desk. And once you pass, that certification is valid for 24 months. It's a fast-paced exam, so you don't have time to be second-guessing where a button is in the GitHub UI. You need to know the platform inside and out. Passing that exam was a great feeling, but it did not happen by accident. It came down to a specific strategies that I want to share with you so you can have the same pass screen. First, let's talk about the environment. Just like other GitHub exams, you can choose what works for you. I prefer the quiet of my own desk at home, where they just do a quick ID and room check. But if you get distracted easily, go to a test center. Be in the place where you feel most focused. Once you are in the exam, remember what I said previously. This is for practitioners. If you are already working in GitHub, go into your organization security tab, click on everything. See how your company handles alert. If you are a student, do the same in your own repos. You have to see it to understand it. And if you are new, don't rush. Start with the foundations first to build your confidence. GitHub Advanced Security is passable exam, and I'm not here to scare you, but you need to study thoroughly. When you are stuck on a tricky question, stay calm and use the elimination strategy. Cross out what's impossible, and the right answer usually reveals itself. You have done the work, now just trust your logic. Once you have your mindset and your environment ready, you need a solid game plan. This is the exact 3-step strategy I use to prepare. Step 1 is study. Since there is not a lot of content for this exam on YouTube or other platforms yet, I focus entirely on the official Microsoft Learn path. I found it to be completely sufficient. I've included the link in the description for you, so you don't feel like you need to go hunting for third-party courses. The official docs are enough. Step 2 is practice. This is where you connect the dots. Every time I learned a concept, I went straight into my personal repository to see how it worked. If you don't want to click around yourself, at least watch a video of someone performing the task to visualize it. But my big suggestion, do the clicking. You remember so much more when you physically navigate the settings yourself. Step 3 is the mock test. Since there are not many practice exams out there, I got creative. I used AI tools like ChatGPT and Gemini to act as my personal tutors. I would ask them to generate questions for me module by module. Once I mastered one section, I would move to the next. Finally, I had the AI give me random questions from different modules to test my memory. Questions in the actual exam won't be identical to what AI gives you, but this process teaches you the logic and the why behind the answers. It makes you think critically, which is exactly what you need to pass. So, after all that studying, practicing with AI, sitting through those 100 minutes, is it actually worth it? Absolutely. And here is why. The industry is shifting. In 2026, companies are not just looking for someone who can write code or manage a pipeline. They are looking for security conscious engineers. Holding the GH-500 badge, you're giving yourself a massive extra edge. When a hiring manager sees a DevOps engineer or a developer who has also validated security knowledge, you immediately become a lower risk, higher value hire. It proves you understand the enterprise concerns that are top of mind for every major tech lead right now. It's about selling yourself as a complete professional who is ready for the modern DevSecOps world. If you have found this breakdown helpful and you are feeling a bit more ready to tackle the GH-500, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps my channel reach more people who are on the same journey as us. And if you have not already, subscribe to stay tuned for our next session. I have put the link to the official Microsoft Learning path which I mentioned is totally enough to pass in the description box below. Don't forget to check out my other videos on GitHub certifications before you start your prep. And let me know in the comments which GitHub batch are you going for the next. Good luck with the study sessions. Stay consistent and I will see you in the next broadcast. Radio out.